Hello, everybody. This is Steel Rose's podcast. This podcast was created for women by women to elevate women's voices. I hope you are all having a wonderful February. Can anyone else believe we're already halfway through the month? It's wild. A big update from New Jersey. We were a frozen tundra for like 2 weeks straight after the last big snow blast that we got. And I'm happy to report that I actually see some melting snow and I can see the grass. So I'm excited about that. Our temp is still only in like the 30s or 40s, but to be honest with you, I'll take it at this point. I would prefer to have that than, -4 degrees weather. But who am I to complain? Because from what I heard from my coworkers and my boss, who lives in Canada or has residence in Canada, um, cold like this all the time, other places, which means that I belong in Florida or the Caribbean. Anyway, I digress. 'Cause I've talked a lot here about, meditating, manifesting. And I think I've shared with you all before that in 2025, I got very, very seriously off track, resulting in a really, really tough Q4. So Q4 is October, November, December, roughly, right? Very stressful, very much not at ease, just not in alignment. And I felt it. And I just was hanging on by a thread, is really what was happening in Q4 2025. Now, flash forward to now, and I'm certain I've said this on one of the other episodes that I was really trying to restart myself this year because I recognized like falling off meditation was not good. And I remember, I did try to get back to it, but I could not get into the same rhythm that I had in 2024. In 2024, 2022, 2023, 24, I was on fire with my meditations, very deep into it, loved it, was really like vibing with it. 2025, I was blessed with a fabulous new job with really, really excellent people. And I put a lot of my focus and attention there and really let other things fall off my plate. This is just something I've struggled with. And I've told you guys before, I struggle with maintaining a balance between multiple things that I love. So that's actually been a work in progress for me too. Now, flash forward to now, mid February. In January, I started my reset. I really wanted to get back to meditating and really to the root of why I got so far off track. Now, something that I'm going to share now, this is personal, but I do actually want to share it because I want you guys to be aware of the process. So, as you know, part of manifesting, part of meditating, part of really opening up your alignment is to focus in on positivity, obviously, but picking up on things that you're grateful for and really acknowledging them throughout the day and being mindful of the thoughts that are going through your brain. Now, majority of people are on autopilot. The thoughts are coming into their brain at a rapid pace and it's coming in so fast and hot that it's really hard. I mean, if you think about it, I know there's a statistic and I don't have, in fact, my laptop and my mic also are not working today. So I'm recording on my phone. So I don't have my research skills readily available to me right now, but there's definitely a statistic about how many thoughts that the human brain has per day. And it's into the millions, I think. It's really a crazy number. If you think about that, we have this many thoughts cycling through our brain a day, but like, do we remember any of these thoughts? Are we really acknowledging any of these thoughts, or is it just autopilot? 90% of us, or if not 99% of us, it's just autopilot. You're really not paying attention to what's coming into your brain and what energy that signal is sending out. So, what I want to point out to you is being mindful of that energy and where your thoughts are leading. Now, part of my reconnecting with myself and part of my getting back into the habit of manifesting and meditating was revisiting the book that Kathy Heller wrote, Abundant Ever After. I talked about Kathy quite a bit in season one and season two, I believe. Huge, huge, huge difference in my life. She made a huge impact in my life. And I will forever be a huge fan of hers. And to be honest with you, if I ever even got a chance to be on her podcast, that would be like a dream come true. Like, my gosh, that would be the culmination of alignment right there. It really would. I don't even know how I would be able to handle it. So I'm revisiting her book and I'm actually taking the time to really slowly read through it and highlight the areas that resonate with me. I'm making notes in the margins. I didn't do that the first time I read the book. And I didn't do that when I revisited the book. But this year I decided, let me do this. Let me really dig deep here. And I'm finding stuff in here that I don't know if I just zipped past it before, but I don't know if I didn't pick up on it before. And now I'm picking up on all these things that are really making me hone back in on what my thoughts have been about. So There's a couple of metaphors that Kathy has in her book. One of them is specifically like a radio dial. You're tuning your radio to whatever energy you're putting out there. So if it's a lot of negative thoughts, you're tuning your radio to negativity. That's a signal you're sending out. That's a signal you're getting back. In a nutshell, there's a lot more to it in here. The other one that I actually wanted to point out, this is actually impactful for what I just said now, is she uses the metaphor directing a movie. Now, I'm going to read an excerpt directly from her book because these are the highlights that I've been putting down. Let's see here. You're not only the DJ of your life, but also the director of the movie with the same title, Your Life. And as the director, you're managing what's in the spotlight by choosing where to focus your attention. This is amazing creative power. You're in the director's chair, except for this, the recurring thoughts that create your beliefs direct the show. Let that settle in. The recurring thoughts that you have is what is directing the show. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. In fact, it can work miracles in your favor. Unfortunately, too many of us let our false beliefs lead the narrative and derail the unfolding plotline before we reach our happy ending. Okay, let's hold here. So this really, oh my gosh, I grabbed the wrong notebook. This really, this really, it spiked for me. Like I don't know what else to call it. My eyebrows kind of lit up. And so I continue on to read, and there's a lot more talking about, there's a lot more in here discussing about limiting beliefs, right? So if you consistently have X, XYZ limiting belief, then XYZ limiting belief is going to be all you can see in your life. So the example that she gives is if you're trying to get pregnant, all of a sudden, because pregnancy is on your mind, you're going to see pregnancy everywhere. You're going to see everybody pregnant. You're going to see ads for it all over the place. It's not that it wasn't there before. It's that you weren't tuned into it. So keep this in mind. Now, when you choose to focus in on something specifically, that's what starts to come into your peer view. That's only because you've chosen to focus in on it. Your mind is constantly organizing the world based on what you focus on. That's a direct quote from her book. You'll find the evidence and the data to support the projections in your mind, and you will get more of the same. So if you're projecting out there pregnancy, maternity, babies, etc., that's what you're going to get back, right? Hold the thought there. So to go deeper, and this is where this is personal, but I want to share this with you. To go deeper, if you have a limiting belief, I will lose everything. I will always struggle no matter how much money I have. That's a limiting belief. What I decided to do with that limiting belief, because that's mine, what I decided to do as I was reading her book was, well, you know what? We have these really wonderful, and I call it wonderful because I use it for a lot of positive things. We have at our fingertips these massive AI chat engines, right? Now you can use anything out there for good or for bad. I focus everything on positivity and for good things. So I use ChatGPT quite a bit. I love it. I use it for everything. I look things up on there, look up recipes. Like I love it. I really do. I really like it. And I'm starting to use it more and more because the more you use it, the smarter it gets. I've privatized my account to make sure that I wasn't being hacked and all that stuff. But you have to just get into it, right? So if you're not interested in going that route, that's totally fine too. But this is the route that I took. So I have this limiting belief. I will lose everything. I'll always struggle no matter how much money I will make. So I put this in and I asked for more, and I prompted ChatGPT to give me some guidance and tell me like why does this limiting belief exist? How is it that this resonates with me? And then where can I go from here? I was surprised, to be perfectly honest with you, with the result because it's not like I've put my entire story lifeline in here. I just put in this limiting belief with a prompt. This limiting belief was formed because I grew up feeling that money was unstable and the shoe was going to drop at any moment. Security could be taken away at any moment. So I learned, stay alert, don't relax, expect the floor to drop. I feel financial fear, not financial truth. But the fear isn't losing everything. It's income unpredictability, feeling out of control, responsibility outpacing safety. Feeling out of control and unpredictability are things that, to be quite honest with you, scare the crap out of me. It is the most frightening thing to be out of control for me. but it's also the most liberating thing to hand it over to somebody else. I'm afraid of uncertainty, not poverty. I've handled uncertainty before and adapted. So this is where it starts to it gives me beliefs and gives me affirmations to say out loud to combat the limiting belief. Even if things change, I now have skills, support, and options. Money outcomes change, but my ability to respond is stable. So it's flipping the script. Yes, it's very scary out there. Yes, it's instability is scary, but it doesn't have to be because actually you can see that you have strength. I have strength and conviction, and I would do anything to make sure that I'm protecting my family and making sure we're all okay. I'm someone who learns how money works for me. That was another one. That was another flip that they gave me. And then this final note here that ChatGPT gave me when I did this back and forth with them. Many high earning, capable people carry this belief. It doesn't mean you're bad with money. It usually means you learned early that stability is fragile. Stability isn't the absence of change, it's confidence in your ability to respond to change. Now, I went really deeper on this and I felt a complete weight lift off of my chest when I engaged with myself really deeply and came to the conclusion of this fear, this instability, this fear of the rug being pulled out from under me stems back from when I was a teenager and my parents divorced. And it's the most amazing thing to peg back that moment. It also really pisses me off because I'm like, I'm 42. Like, can we mentally just let this go? So I went through this whole cycle of exercise and I felt this tremendous weight lift off my shoulders. So what I'd like to challenge all of you to do, if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling like you're you're not able to achieve what you want, or if you're trying to meditate and you're like, I just can't get this, this just isn't working for me. What I'd like to challenge you to do is to try to drill down what is that belief? What's the limiting belief? What is that barrier that is not letting you get to the next step? Or is it money? Is it love? Do you feel like you don't deserve love? Why don't you deserve love? And what I'd like you to do is I know not everyone's a fan of AI, but if you're interested in it, I highly recommend going in and just putting in some prompts. And you can Google like what prompts are best to use for search engines for this kind of conversation. You can actually put it into the search engine. What are the best prompts that I can use for you? Or what are potential prompts that I could use to investigate this limiting belief potentially doing to me? And how can I turn this around? I hope you found this informative. This is something that I'm going to continue to play with and move around with. I'm only on page 96 of the book, and I have about 250 there's 250 pages in there, so I still have about 150 to go or so. Um, but I'm into it. I must say, I'll drop a link. I'll put a link in the description here, so you guys can check the book out yourselves as well. I cannot recommend this book enough. I really can't. If you're trying to make waves in your life, this is the book for you. Kathy also has a podcast, but check her podcast out. I will always plug her podcast because she changed my life and she would be able to change yours as well. Hope you're doing well. I'm so grateful for all of you who are listening, especially for all the new subscribers. It's been honestly very affirming and amazing to have all of you with me. So thank you again. And I will catch you on the next one. Take care.